Hi everyone, so another fun request because we are within Halloween. So otro pedido. Como estamos en el mes de las brujas, someone asked me, I pulled up the question, do vampires exist? I really do have it on email here. Alguien me preguntó si los vampiros realmente existen. So, let me tell you a little bit about vampires. So déjame decirle un poco de vampiros. Do they exist? There are vampires in this world that, now we're going to ask about the blood-sucking ones, but there are people who suck your energy, and those are usually the narcissist. Okay, and this is telling, I'm not even mixing these and they're throwing up on themselves. The narcissist, those controlling people, people who always have to control and manipulate people. They are people who are so negative and toxic that they suck the positive energy out of you. Okay, ahora, claro que los vampiros existen, pero estos son vampiros de energía. Vamos a preguntar por los otros vampiros, de que todos se saben. Y la razón es porque hay gente tan tóxica, narcisistas, los que son controladores, controladoras, los tóxicos, que tienen que vivir de la energía positiva de la gente. So, básicamente lo que pasa aquí es de que ellos mismos tienen que vivir de la gente buena, de la gente positiva, porque son tan negativos que tienen que sacarte la energía positiva y por eso te dejan débil. Okay? Hay gente que están en relaciones que se meten con personas y se siente tan débil después de tener intimidad. Y la razón es porque son como una lechuga que te saca toda la energía esa persona tan negativa. There are people who have clients who have told me that have been involved in bad relationships that when they have sexual relations with someone, they feel so weak after, okay? They feel so weak because it's like the person sucks all the energy. There are people who are so toxic, so negative, that they have to choose a person who's good-hearted, who usually empaths are the ones who are targeted, people who are who have, you know, that positive light, that they have to suck it to survive. And so people will tell me that they've been in bad relationships and they are so weak after having sexual relations with the person, and that's because they suck the energy out of them. So energetic vampires, yes, they do exist. They're just toxic people, and those are usually what you see in your narcissists that target people with good hearts who are empaths, who will suck the life out of you. So let's find out if the myth of blood those who suck blood, do exist. So vamos a chequear y preguntar a las cartas si los vampiros, los que te chupan la sangre, lo que hemos visto en las películas, realmente existen. Alright, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Help me grow the channel. Thank you to all my subscribers and followers. No se olviden de suscribirse, darle me gusta, compartir el video. Ayúdame a crecer el canal y gracias a todos mis suscriptores y mis seguidores. All right? So let's ask the cards. But again, energy vampires do exist. Pero vuelvo y repito, los vampiros que te sacan la energía sí existen y son la gente mala. Those are usually evil people who suck the energy out of you. And there are people who like the cosplay that actually do drink blood. Sí, hay gente que se toman la sangre porque les gusta hacer de que son vampiros. So, lamentablemente, sí, hay gente loca. ¿Qué te puedo decir? Unfortunately, there are crazy people. They are live vampires. They do go and suck blood from people already because they want to follow the myths. So do they exist? Well, at one time, yes. This is the past. En un tiempo, sí. Okay. It was definitely during a cold, somewhere cold. Definitivamente era un lugar frío. Un lugar frío. And these were people who drank ceremonially. Okay. There was this part of ritual. This was part of some type of ritual, some type of ceremony. Esta gente vivían, sí, es un tiempo frío y era gente que hacían rituales, ceremonias, que bebían sangre. That's where this myth of vampires come from. And they were people who looked to also alter themselves. Era gente que se buscaban modificarse. So they did this. It's kind of like experimenting. Es como que estaban experimentando. For some reason, these were people who were considered into magicians, scientists, or sorcerers, quite frankly. Black magic, whatever you want to call it. Estos son gente de que practicaban magia negra. Eran como eran místicos, eran magos, brujos, definitivamente. It was kind of like they started to preserve life, to preserve aging. Es como que ellos empezaron porque pensaban que eso mantenía la juventud. They really, whoever put them in their brain that this would help them preserve youth. Okay? The only way, unfortunately, there's also, we've all seen about voodoo. Okay, we've all read about voodoo. They are people who exist, that they're able to keep people after death keep going. Okay, hay, por ejemplo, voodoo, hay las creencias de que pueden resucitar el muerto y sigue viviendo sin alma. They live without a soul. So that's where the myth of these vampires have come from. They're people without a soul, and they're people who did these ceremonial trying to preserve youth. This is what the cards are saying. This is not from my knowledge, okay? And this is what the guides are telling me. Esto es lo que me están diciendo las guías y las cartas. Yo no estoy sacando nada de esto de lo que yo he estudiado o lo que he aprendido. Esto es lo que me está hablando claramente, okay? Porque aquí están claramente. Pero eran gente, se habla del vudú y se sabe. And literally the only way they stopped them was chopping off their head. Y la única manera que los podían matar era cortarles la cabeza. Or specifically, with stabbing them. It could be the heart too. La única manera que se podía matar era, como dice, con un arma, cuchillo, no cuchillo, pero tampoco machete, más grande que eso, que les tenían que cortar la cabeza o como decirles, darles en el corazón, porque era la única manera que esta gente moría. Ahora, yeah, they definitely could not stand the sun. They were people who maintained in the dark. Sí, definitivamente era gente que no les gustaba la oscuridad. No les gustaba el sol, solo en la oscuridad se mantenían. And they're people who wanted to be really in between both worlds, which means the mystical world and the current world. So estos son dos personas que querían estar entre el mundo místico, espiritual, y también en el planeta. Querían tener poder en los dos mundos. For them, this was a way for them to, podían ser satánicos, porque todavía existen. It could be satanic people. This is where the myth of the vampires came from. Esto es de donde vino la leyenda de los vampiros. Okay? Because ellos querían tener poderes en los dos mundos, espiritual y en esta tierra. They wanted to have control of the spirit world or the underworld and this one. This is where it's just telling me. And eventually, well, it's still going on. Todavía existe. It's still going on. Okay? But it's just the myth that it came from were people who were really experimenting in all this and following beliefs that this is where it came from, which is why we hear a lot of it. It still goes on. Todavía existe. It's just they migrated and moved, so this is why you would hear about it. Okay? Ellos migraban y se iban. Por eso, pero todavía existe, todavía existe. Okay, todavía existe. So they still do exist. It's just, no, it's not the Bram Stoker's Dracula, as we saw. It's just, they really were people. No es como las películas o el libro que dijeron de que all right, and here's some more tales to it. It's not like the actual movie or the books. No son como los libros o las películas que tú han visto. Es que eran gente que hacían esto y hacían la leyenda o que los rumores empezaron, las historias empezaron en decir para justificar lo que se estaba haciendo. Okay, they made these myths, this rumor started in order to make this happen. And of course, it was tied into the occult. It's tied into the dark. It's tied into people who did this, okay? To this day, even the Mayans sacrificed, okay? Hasta los mayas sacrificaban. Se sacrificaban por sangre. So this is a very barbaric, ancient ritual type of thing. You know, we've heard about the massacres of the Mayans. They were very bloody people. Okay, los mayas eran bien sangrientes, so no vamos a hablar con eso. But it also, here's the funny thing about it. What also happened is it was a way to justify for women to say they were seduced. Okay? That was their way of doing it. Esto era para que también las mujeres justificaron que fueron seducidas por algo que no era humano, okay? Que ellos cayeron en tentación porque estaban bajo un hechizo. It's like they went and said that, you know, women who were promiscuous or did things that were considered not correct for a lady at that time would blame it on saying that they were under a spell, okay, by something that was not human, not natural, okay? They didn't want to admit that they were doing something they weren't supposed to. It's not their fault, okay? And it's really funny because here it's telling you they were people who had money. And here, you see this? It's all these are people who had money who did this. Eran gente que tenían dinero que hacía esto. Porque querían más poder, because they wanted more power. And they still do. This hasn't changed. I will tell you there's a lot going on in the world, which is why children are being, and unfortunately the elite or people of power, they are still using blood sacrifices. And I have seen this in dreams. It has been revealed to me. The main place was New York. You can tie it into some political news where it's confirmed. But I have seen this in many places. Esta gente son gente de poder que todavía lo hacen hoy. Lo hacían antes y lo hacían ayer. Y son gente en poder que todavía van sacrificando la sangre humana. Okay? Todavía van sacrificando la sangre humana. Because this is what they do. And they always hide the remnants. But yeah, they drink the blood. Sí, se toman la sangre. They definitely do. So, do vampires exist? Yes. Are they the mythical book and movie? No. But they are people that are still drinking blood and are still sacrificing blood. That's how the stories and the myth starts according to this. Así que son gente verdadera que se están tomando la sangre, que sacrifican sangre. Okay? Gente satánica, gente en poder, gente, y eso estamos hablando más políticos de lo que tú te puedes imaginar. Pero así empezó la leyenda, las historias. No son los vampiros que nacen así con los dientes, pero sí son gente que beben sangre y sacrifican. Todavía hoy en día, lamentablemente. So, I hope that answers, and this is not for debut, it's what the cards say, what the questions say, and my left ear is burning, which means it is true. Y ahorita tengo la oreja izquierda caliente, que quiere decir que es cierto lo que estoy hablando. Here, let's pull a confirmation card. How's that? Vamos a sacar una carta de confirmación. If what I have said is actually true. I mean, I love those Halloween movies. No se crean, a mí me encanta. Yes, absolutely yes. Sí, definitivamente que sí. Lo que estoy hablando es palabra cierta. What I am saying is true, according to the cards. So, I hope this was a fun one. Thank you very much for the suggestion. For Halloween, it's perfect, the Halloween month, so I definitely have to come up with some other ideas. All right, we'll talk soon.